Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Jen here, and today I'm gonna be showing you how I baked my cake. My birthday's coming up soon, so I decided to bake myself a cake, and I'm just gonna show you how I do it. So let's jump right into it. To make my cake, I am using a cake kit. This will make the process much easier for me. In this kit, you are provided with a cake mix, and all you have to do is add water, oil and eggs. I, however, like to beat the eggs before adding the other ingredients in. I do this to speed along the mixing process. Here I am adding the oil and water to the cake mix and mixing them all together for 2 minutes. Now that it's all mixed, let's add the mixture to a deep cake tin. The instructions say to use 2 tins and divide the mixture in half, but I only have 1 tin, so I will make do. I then put the mixture into my preheated oven for 15 minutes on 180 degrees Celsius. Whilst the cake was in the oven, I started making the icing. The cake kit already comes with another packet for the icing, which requires you to mix it with unsalted butter and a bit of water. I am, however, deciding to make my own icing, despite never having done this before. To create the icing, I will use icing sugar, double cream and both milk and dark chocolate. I began melting half the chocolate in the microwave for 30 seconds, taking the mixture out and stirring it, then putting it back in. To make sure it melts, I am doing this 3 times. Then I mixed the double cream and icing sugar in the mixer until it had a whipped consistency. I then poured in the melted chocolate and mixed it all together. Then it was time to take the cake out of the oven and let it cool. I then transferred it into a cooling rack for it to cool down furthermore. Now for the decorating part, what I like to do is get the cake tin and place either cling film or any clean plastic that is on hand inside the tin. This will make sure the icing inside sets equally and makes it extremely easy to take out of the tin later. I then cut the cake in half and place the first half at the bottom of the tin. Then, to prevent the cake from drying out, I like to mix a tablespoon of chocolate Nesquik with about 100 milliliters of milk to wet the layers of the cake. Here I am using a spoon to cover the bottom cake layer with the chocolate milk mixture. I then spread half of the icing on top of this layer to make a buffer icing layer, which will sit between the 2 sponge layers. The rest of the icing will be used to coat the outside of the cake. Then I put the other half of the cake on top of the icing layer. Sadly, the top layer broke a little bit, but that's okay. I then applied the chocolate milk mixture to the top layer again for the anti-drying effect. Next, I wrapped the cake up and put it in the fridge to decorate the next day. Alternatively, you can leave the cake in the fridge for about 4 hours if you don't have much time. I like doing this as this makes sure the icing sets really well between the cake layers. So guys, after leaving the cake overnight, I'm now going to take it out and decorate it. I'm going to put it on a plate. So just put it on this plate here to make it easier for you to decorate it. So it should be a little bit firmer. And try and do it like this. So guys, the camera cut out when I was gonna flip the cake and start doing the icing that I showed you yesterday to leave it on the side for you to put on top of the cake. Now, that's when I made my mistake, because I put the icing in the fridge separate from the cake. So the next day, when I was gonna put the icing on top, the icing was way too hard for me to actually put on top of the cake. So now it just crumbled all over the cake, and this is what we're left with. Now I even took a slice out of it because I was like, let me see if it's actually any good. And it does taste good, but it is a bit of a failure. So what I recommend is, if you try this at home, just do it all in one day and then leave it all ready with the icing on top as well as in the middle, because the middle part's fine and it's firm, but it's just putting it on top the next day just wouldn't work. And I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but yeah, a failure. And that's it for the video, really. If you enjoyed this video, just make sure you hit the subscribe button and like as well. And thank you for watching this absolute failure. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.